Alright, so next we're just going to sub in the values you will see. Right, so integrate from 0 to 1, and you're going to have 10, 5 minus 2x minus 30x minus 4, 5 minus 2x, x, then add on 12x squared. Then you have to subtract 5 minus 2x squared. And of course you have to add on 3x squared. And then dx. Right, so this is what you are going to have. Now, integral from 0 to 1, we will have to make a little bit of simplifications. So the terms without x, that will just be 50 and negative 25. Well, you have 25. So minus 20 minus 30, negative 50. And negative 50, they have to minus 20, which is a negative 70. But negative 70, you have to add on 20, which will give you a negative 50x. And lastly, you're going to see the terms of x squared. So in terms of x squared, you're going to have 8 plus 12, which is 20. 20, they have to subtract 4. Well, 20, you have 16. 16 add on to 9. Well, you're going to have 25. So 25, then you're just going to have 25x squared. Alright, and then dx. And next, you just have to integrate whatever you have here. Well, you have 25x minus 25x squared plus 25 over 3x cubed. Then you substitute in the values 0 and 1. So then when you substitute in the value of 1, you'll realize 25 minus 25, that will just cancel out, and you'll have 25 over 3. Or if you sub in 0, they'll just all be 0. Right, so this is the answer that we get, 25 over 3, which is same as the last lesson. It's just that now we used a different method, alright? So one is integrate with respect to x, the other is integrate with respect to y. Or maybe you can even integrate with respect to z and y, z and x, whatever, alright? That is just depends on what kind of integration you are most comfortable with. Right, so that is the first example. Next, we move on to the second example and finish what we had the last lesson. Right, so the second example, well, you're going to see z is equal to 16xy plus 200, z is equal to 0, y is equal to x squared, and y is equal to 8 minus x squared. So you can take z is equal to 0 and z is equal to 16xy plus 200 as your lowest part of your z and the height, alright? So what is this graph going to be like? Now you have y is equal to x squared and y is equal to 8 minus x squared. Right, so it's kind of like this, and it will just be the area in between the two, alright? So then you have to determine the two intersecting points. Well, you can equate them together and get 2, 4 and negative 2, 4. Right, so this is what we are going to see. Now, we can determine whether you want to integrate with respect to x first or with respect to y first. Of course, by looking at this graph, you can tell integrating with respect to y first will be much simpler, as integrating with respect to x first, you would have to separate it into two different regions once again. Right, so double integration 6 tan xy plus 200, then you have dy dx. Integrating with respect to y would make it x squared to 8 minus x squared. Now, if you have x, then that will be negative 2 to 2. Alright, so now you integrate, and you have integrate from negative 2 to 2, x 8 xy squared plus 200y, substitute in x squared and 8 minus x squared, then dx. Right, so now we're going to see integrate from negative 2 to 2, and then 8x, 8 minus x squared minus 8x to the power of 5 plus 200 multiplied by 8 minus x squared minus 200x squared, then dx. Alright, so this is what we are going to see. Now, we try to simplify as much as possible. So, starting from the first term, or should I say starting from your constant term, 1600, and what are you going to have for your next term, which is a term with x, and the term of x is only the first part over here. We're going to have add on 8 cubed, which is 512 x, and next for the terms of x squared, which is minus 400 x squared. Now the terms of x cubed, you have 1 here and none others, where you will see minus. So 8 times 2 times 8, where you have 128x cubed. Is there x to the power of 4? No, there is an x to the power of 4, so we'll just move on to x to the power of 5. But then you realize you have 8x to the power of 5 and minus 8x to the power of 5. So we won't have an x to the power of 5 either. And next we'll just have to determine what kind of answer this gives us. Well, you will see 1600x plus 256x squared minus 400 over 3x cubed minus 32x to the power of 4. Substitute in the values of negative 2 and 2. Alright, so then you just have 3200, negative negative you get plus 3200, and then, well, actually if you realize this part, since this is a square, then when it's having a positive value, it is a positive. When it's having a negative value, it is still positive, but then you have an extra negative, which means this term is actually a 0. So you have to minus 3200 over 3 minus 3200 over 3. Well, the next term is also a 0, since it is x to the power of 4. So you realize that the even functions over here just become 0. Right, so all we have to do now is to determine what does this give us. Well, you just see 12800. Right, so the answer to this question is 12800 over 3. So these two different questions, all about finding the volume, even though they seem vastly different. One of which, the first question, is more of a tetrahedral, while this second one, it seems to be a pretty weird shape with the base looking like an oval, a bit like an oval, while your parts in your upper one, or should I say the height, is more like your y is equal to 1 over x graphs. So this might be a pretty weird shape to imagine, but this is how you find its volume. Right, so I hope for these two examples, you're clear of all of them so far, and they pretty much have a similar method. But just beware on how you use each of them. Alright, so I'll be ending this here, and thank you for your watching.